Hi everyone, myself Dr. P. Soumya, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. So in this session, I'm going to discuss about e-waste and its management, means electronic waste and its management. So in this session, I'm going to cover the topics: what is e-waste, what are the statistics of e-waste, sources of e-waste, types of e-waste, what are the effects of e-waste on environment, and what are the effects of e-waste on human body, and how these become e-waste, and methods of disposal of e-waste, and a conclusion. So first one is, what is e-waste? E-waste means electronic waste. So it is also called as e-waste or waste electrical and electronic equipment. Waste electrical and electronic equipment. So that is double EEE. So here WEEE. So it is a waste electrical and electronic equipment. It is a waste consisting of any unwanted or obsolete or unusable electrical and electronic appliance. So e-waste means e-waste it consisting of any unwanted or unused, any unwanted or unusable electrical and electronic devices or electronic appliances. So here e-waste means it is an unwanted or unusable electrical or electronic appliances. So this electronic waste or e-waste describes discarded electrical or electronic devices. So this electronic waste also called as discarded electrical or electronic devices. So these used electronic which are these used electronics which are destined for reuse, resale, salvage, recycling or disposal. So these are also considered as e-waste. So the used electronics which are destined for reuse, recycle, resale, salvage and also disposal are called as e-waste, electronic waste. Informal processing of e-waste in developing countries, it can lead to adverse human health effects. So informal processing of e-waste, electronic waste in developing countries, so these can lead to adverse human health effects and environmental pollution. So it is a point of concern considering that many components of such equipment are considered toxic and these are not biodegradable. So it is a point of concern considering that many components of such equipments, so these are considered toxic so these are not biodegradable. So this will release electronic waste, it will release the toxic substances and toxic gases, and also these are not biodegradable. So these will cause, because of the informal processing of e-waste, so it can produce the processing it can produce adverse human health effects, and this is leads to the environmental pollution. So e-waste means it is a unused or unwanted electrical or electronic devices or appliances. Generation of e-waste. So here the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, the Central Pollution Control Board, it estimates e-waste generation at national level based on the countrywide sales data provided by producers and average life of notified electrical and electronic equipment. So a mandated under e-waste management rules 2016. So as per the information available with the CPCB, e-waste generated in the country from 21 types of electrical and electronics. So so this is notified under e-waste. So here 21 types of electronics these are notified under e-waste. So here e-waste rules 2016 since the financial year 2017 to 18. So these as given, these are given below. So here, so that according to CPCB, the in the country from 20, so from 21 types of electronic waste are, so these come under electronic waste. So here, according to the e-waste rules 2016. So here in this in 2017 to 18, here 7 lakhs 8,445 tons are produced as a electronic waste. In 2018 to 19, 7 lakhs 71,215 tons are produced, and in 2019 to 20, so it is increased to 10 lakhs 14,961 tons. In 2022 21, so 13 lakhs 46,496 tons the electronic waste is produced. In 21 and 22, 16 lakhs 1,155 tons of electronic waste is produced. This is this statistics are these are given. The Central Pollution Control Board has given this statistics. So in the financial year, if we see the table, so year by year the electronic waste is gradually increases. So this is a state-wise e-waste generation in India. So in Maharashtra 19.8 percentage, Tamil Nadu it is producing 13.1 percentage, Andhra Pradesh it is producing 12.5%, Uttar Pradesh it is producing 10.1, whereas West Bengal 9.8%, Delhi 9.5%, Karnataka 8.9%, and Gujarat 8.8 percentage, and also Madhya Pradesh, finally Madhya Pradesh 7.6 percentage. So if we see this statistics, Maharashtra it is producing so highest percentage of e-waste in India. So these are tons per year. So according to the statistics, we are generating more than 40 million tons of e-waste in a year, and only 27% of this is recycled. So here 40 million tons, so every year 40 million tons of e-waste is produced. In this 40 million, only 27 percentage e-waste is recycled. Remaining percentage is not recycled. It is remained as a e-waste. So India it is in the 5th position in the generation of e-waste. So India it is 5th position in the generation of e-waste. So what are the sources of e-waste? Waste generated from the products used for data processing such as computers, computer devices like monitors, speakers, keyboard and printers. So waste generated from the products that are used for data processing such as computers, computer devices like monitors, speakers, keyboards and printers. So these are also come under this will also come under so e-waste. And also electronic devices used for entertainment like TV, DVDs and CD players. The electronic devices which are used for entertainment like TV, radio, DVDs, CD players. So these are also producing e-waste. So equipment or devices used for communication like phones, landline phones, fax, and also household equipments like vacuum cleaner, microwave oven, washing machines and air conditioners. And in audio visual components such as VCRs, stereo equipments, etc., and consumer and lighting equipments, toys, leisure and sports equipment, and also medical devices. These are the sources of e-waste. So here data processing, the products from used for data processing like computers, computer devices like keyboards, printers, speakers, so monitor, and also electronic devices used for entertainment like TV, DVD, CD players, and equipments or devices which are used for communication like phones, landline phones, fax, and also household equipments like vacuum cleaner, microwave ovens, and air conditioners, washing machines, Audio-visual components such as VCR, stereo equipment, and consumer and lighting equipment, toys and leisure source equipment, medical devices. These are the major sources of electronic waste. So types of e-waste in this. So here computer equipment, personal electronic devices, so monitors and laptops, so cell phones, and also audio video equipments, television, scanners. So these are the scanners and copiers. So these are the types of electronic waste, different types of electronic waste. So, what are the challenges of e waste? So, e waste contains several different substances and also chemicals, many of which are toxic and are likely to create adverse impact on environment and health if not handled properly. So, this e waste it is containing different substances and chemicals, so which are very toxic, and this will create adverse impact of adverse effects on environment also and human health. So if we are not handled properly, so if we are not handled the properly e-waste, so here it will leads to the adverse effects on human health as well as environment pollution. So this e-waste, it is the fastest growing waste stream. So technological advances speed up obsolescence and lead to more e-waste. So what are the effects of e-waste on environment? Emissions from e-waste, these create environmental damage. Toxic chemicals from e-waste, these enter the soil crop and food pathway. So emissions from e-waste, it will create environmental damage or environmental pollution. Toxic chemicals from e-waste, it will enter to the soil and it will lead to the soil crop food pathway. Enter into the soil crop food pathway, and these are no biodegradable and this cause soil pollution. So we know that electronic waste it is not biodegradable, that's why it will leads to the soil pollution. So e-waste dumping yards and nearby places, these are polluted and these will cause health hazards. The e-waste dumping yards nearby places, these are polluted and this will lead to the health hazards. This will cause the health hazards. So here this will lead to the pollution of groundwater. So here the e-waste it will lead to the pollution of groundwater and also air pollution, acidification of soil. The acidification of soil also takes place because of the electronic waste, because these are having several chemicals. So e-waste so accounts for 40% of lead and 75% of heavy metals found in landfills. So here e-waste accounts for so 40% of lead is present and 75% of heavy metals are present, these are found in landfills of e-waste. So these are the effects of e-waste on the environment as well as health. So here effects of uh, elements on a effects of element on human body. So we are having e-waste, it is having many heavy metals and also lead. So if it is having lead, so this will damage to central and peripheral nervous systems, blood systems and kidney damage. So this will affect the brain development of children. So if it is having lead, so this lead damage to the central and peripheral nervous systems, blood systems and also kidney damage. So this will affect the brain development of children. So here chromium, that is leads to asthmatic bronchitis and DNA damage. So chromium it is leads to asthmatic bronchitis and DNA damage. Cadmium, so it is toxic irreversible. It will leads to toxic irreversible effects on human health. So this will accumulates in kidney and liver and it will causes neural damage, that is teratogenic. Mercury, that is chromic, it will leads to the chronic damage to brain and respiratory systems. if it is having plastics and including PVC, so burning produces dioxin. The burning of this plastic, it will produces dioxin, so it causes reproductive and developmental problems. It causes reproductive and developmental problems, immune system damage, and interferes. This will interfere with regulatory hormones. So these are the effects of uh, different heavy metals on human body. So how these become e-waste? What are the reasons to becoming e-waste? So advancement in technology, changes in style fashion, changes in lifestyle fashion and status, and nearing the end of their usual life, not taking precautions while handling them. So these are the reasons to become e-waste. So here electronics to e-waste, it is converting because is as a e-waste because of advancement in technology, changes in style, fashion, and status, nearing the end of their useful life, and not taking precautions while the handling the electronic devices. So these are the reasons. So to because to become electronics to e-waste. Why e-waste management? Why we need a e-waste management? Because because of the e-waste, pollution of groundwater is taking place, and also acidification of soil taking place. So it emits emitting toxic substances, toxic fumes and gases, and it is the fastest growing portion of municipal waste, and it releases harmful gases into air. Means it is leading to the environmental pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, and also water pollution. It is increasing the acidification of soil, and it is leads to the pollution of groundwater. So because of these reasons, so we need to manage the e-waste improperly. So e-waste management. So here for this e-waste management, we have to use 3R technique. So this use step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So we have 5 steps. In this first step 1, use 3R technique to minimize the e-waste. 3R means reduce e-waste, recycle the e-waste, and reuse the e-waste. So these are the 3R technique. Reduce means to use things with care to reduce the amount of waste generated. So here reduce means to use things with care to reduce the amount of waste generated. Reuse means to repeat the use of items or parts of the items. To repeat the use of items or parts of the items. So this is reuse. Recycle means to use waste as a resource. So because we have to recycle into other the electronic devices. So here this is used as a electronic waste. It is used as a resources for the production of another material. So this is the 3R technique, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle. So we have to use 3R technique to minimize the e-waste. And step 2 is identify the e-waste category and item. So identify the e-waste category item, identify the e-waste composition or determine it. First step 2 is we have to identify the e-waste category item. Second is identify the e-waste composition and determine it. So we have to identify the composition of e-waste. So third step is identify the possible hazardous content in e-waste. So we have to identify the possible hazardous content, like which heavy metal in e-waste. And step 5 is identify whether the e-waste component is hazardous to the e-waste, hazardous, or the entire e-waste item is hazardous. So we have to, first step is we have to use a 3R technique to minimize the e-waste. Second technique is we have to identify the e-waste category item. Third step is we have to identify the e-waste composition, and the fourth step is identify the possible hazardous content in e-waste. So which like lead, like heavy metals, and identify whether the e-waste component is hazardous or the entire e-waste is item is hazardous to the environment. So this is step 5 steps involved in the e-waste management. So methods of disposal of e-waste. So here, why we should ensure safe disposal of these. So landfill disposal allows heavy metals to leach into groundwater. So incineration here, first process landfill disposal. This will allows heavy metals to leach into groundwater. First process landfilling. So this is landfill disposal. This will allows heavy metals. This will leach into groundwater. And incineration makes hazardous material airborne. Incineration, so it will make hazardous material in airborne. So acid baths, these are very dangerous. So this will cause water and soil contamination. So here to ensure exported material are handled properly. So here, because of this, we should use a safe disposal process. Because of our landfill, it is producing, so it is allowing the heavy metals to into leach into the groundwater. Incineration, it is making the air pollution. And acid baths, these will cause water pollution and also soil pollution. So because of this, we have to use safe disposal process for the management e-waste management. So here the most important method is recycling. So here the most method of management of e-waste is recycling. In this, we have 3 steps: de-assembly, disassembly or dismantling, so upgrading and materials recovery. Disassembly, dismantling or upgrading, materials recovery. So in disassembly or dismantling, it is the systematic removal of components, parts or a groups of a parts sub-assembly from product of e-waste. So in this dismantling, so we have to use systematic removal of parts, components or a group of parts. So in this, we have to remove these from the e-waste. Upgrading means it includes communicating and separation of materials using mechanical or physical or metallurgical processing. So methods to recover materials include incineration and refining. So upgrading means we have it includes communicating and also separation of materials using mechanical or physical or metallurgical process. So here, so in the first case, we are uh, dismantling the e-waste into the parts, different parts and components, a group of parts. So in upgrading, so here separation of material is taking place using mechanical or physical or metallurgical processing. So these are methods to recover materials including incineration and also refining. Materials recovery. The material, so these are recovered by recycling facilities. So the plastic, glass, metals can be recovered by sorting them before mixing them with the other waste. So in materials recovery, we can recover the metals like plastic, glass, metals. These can be recovered by the materials recovery. So this is a process of. So here for management of waste, so we have to use recycling. It is the very best process, so very good process. So in this three process are the dismantling, upgrading and materials recovery. In dismantling, so here the systematic removal of components and parts are taking place. So in upgrading, so the separation of materials is taking place by using mechanical or physical or metallurgical process. So in materials recovery, we are separating, we are recovering the plastics, metals, glass like materials. This is the recycling. So by recycling, we can manage the e-waste. So what are the advantages of recycling of e-waste? So here asset recovery is taking place. Reduction of need for landfills is taking place. Here no need of landfills here. That's why reduction of need for landfills is taking place. And reduction of junks and clutters taking place. Resale and reuse. So this is very useful. And resale and reuse is taking place because of the recycling waste and creation of jobs. So it is creating more jobs. these are the advantages of recycling e-waste: asset recovery taking place, reduction for need for landfills taking place, reduction of junks and letters taking place, resale, reuse, and also it will creating the jobs for many people. So conclusion, coming to the conclusion, e-waste, it has emerged as one of the fastest growing waste streams worldwide today. So electronic gadgets without proper disposal, this can cause environmental harm. So reuse and recycle, so these are more beneficial than simple disposal. So we know that electronic gadgets without proper disposal, these can cause environmental pollution and human health effects. It is showing human health effects. So the reuse and recycle, these are more beneficial than simple disposal. So designing of products using environmental friendly raw items, this can make a change. So we have to design a products using environment friendly raw materials, and so the biodegradable plastics, and also these are can be make a change in electronics. So awareness of e-waste, it should be given to every person, and governments shall take steps to reduce e-waste disposal. So in this session, I have covered the topic e-waste, electronic waste. What are the effects of electronic waste? What is the management? Its management technique, that is recycling. So with this, I'm concluding this session. So thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.